Welcome. So the Fed has been hiking rates for the past year or so. We should see that. I guess it's a little hard to see here, but here we go. The last year, ever since about March of 2022, February 2022, and we've been seeing this massive dip in the markets. But I want to look at the CME group FedWatch tool here that shows the target rate probabilities for the next Fed rate hiking, and this has been quite accurate throughout all of the Fed rate hikes. The closer it gets to the date, the next date is March 22nd for the Fed hiking rates. The closer it gets to the date, the more accurate this is. So we're about 6 days away, and look at the probabilities now. A few days ago, I believe it was actually estimated that the Fed was going to pause rates. So that was very interesting. I haven't seen that in the last year so far, I don't think. But now they're predicting pretty much what I think the markets are expecting, which is a 25 basis points rate hike. And let's look at the probabilities. Now, this is really interesting. So actually, yesterday, check this out. Yesterday, this is what I saw. Here's a screenshot. Yesterday, it was saying that we were going to see a rate hike on the 22nd. But then look at this. But then by May 3rd, it was going to pause. It was going to stay paused from March to May 3rd. It was predicting that. So that would have been predicting a market rate pause from late March through May, or through early May. But now it is shifted to this, to where it's predicting a higher chance that it's going to go up 25 basis points on the 22nd, and then it's going to go one more time up to 525 total, another 25%. But then look at this, it's predicting that we're going to start cutting by June 14th. Okay, so that means we would have, I guess that would be a really short pause. In this case, that would be a pause for a little bit longer than a month, and then they would start cutting in June. And then as you can see, it's predicting that they're going to continue to cut for the rest of the year. Now, let's look historically at what markets do when the Fed hikes rates, what the markets do when they pause rates, and what the markets do when they cut rates. I made a couple videos about this in the past, but it's very interesting. So if the Fed pauses rates in May, that could be very positive for markets, because if you look at here, these are the last 4 pauses. If you look back in December of 2018, the markets pumped when they paused rates. And then back in August of 2006, before the financial crash, the markets pumped. And same back here after the dot-com bubble. Markets pumped a little bit, and then same back here before the dot-com crash. Markets pumped on that pause. So, I mean, pausing could be really positive. And then let's look at Bitcoin specifically. Oh, Bitcoin is pumping right now. Let's look historically. We've got to spread this out here. The last time the Fed, let's see, spread this out again. There we go, it's better. Okay, it's a little wonky. So let's go, this is not working so well. Come on, chart. How do I stretch this out? All right, the chart's being a little funky today. There we go. All right, so, when the Fed was hiking rates, the markets hit an all-time high and then started dropping. And then around the final Fed rate hike, the markets actually dropped. But we're in kind of a different scenario now, since the Fed waited until after the bull market and then started hiking rates way more aggressively. But then look at the pause that happened in January 2019. We saw the market had already bottomed. And then once they paused, the markets went on this major pump to, that's when Bitcoin hit about 12K or so, 12.5K, I believe. It's not giving me the correct numbers here. And then once the Fed started cutting rates, Bitcoin tanked, and then we hit the 2020 collapse there. But once they were done cutting, then we headed into the next bull run. So it's very interesting. A lot of people are very optimistic. They're waiting until the Fed starts cutting rates, and they think that's a time for the next bull run. But really, the Bitcoin kind of suffers during the cutting, but then goes off on a tear after the Fed completes cutting. Okay, so that's really important. So if we hit a pause in May, after May 3rd, that could be extremely bullish. But then if we start cutting in June, that could be extremely bearish. And if we cut for the rest of the year of 2003, and then we can continue cutting in 2024, that could be very, very bearish for the markets. It'll be interesting. What do you think? What do you think? Do you think pausing is bullish? Do you think cutting is bullish? Well, let's look at the history. I've shown you in multiple videos. Let me know what you think in comments below. Please subscribe to this video, like this video, share it with someone who could benefit from it. Definitely, I'll be coming out with a lot more videos like this. So subscribe to continue to get these videos, putting these out for free. All right, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.